There's a silent war happening inside you every day. It doesn't involve swords, no bloodshed, but it's just as lethal. It's the war between your desires and your discipline, between who you are and who you pretend to be. And most men are losing. They scroll, they postpone, they fantasize, they rot. But 400 years ago, there was a warrior class that couldn't afford to lose that war, not even for a second. The samurai. To them, laziness wasn't a minor flaw. It was a fatal disease, a weakness that led straight to dishonor and death. And they had a weapon to fight it. Not a sword, not meditation, not motivation videos or cold showers. It was something far more psychological, far more ruthless, and far more effective. It was called kiojutsu, and once you understand it, laziness will never be able to survive inside you again. 1. What is kiojutsu? Kiojutsu is a 400-year-old concept used by the samurai to detect deception, first in others, but ultimately in themselves. The term breaks into two words, kyo, which means falsehood, illusion, empty, and jutsu, which means truth, substance, reality in our context. At first glance, it's a martial strategy, used to fake weakness, create illusions, bait enemies into traps. But beneath the tactics is a darker layer, one that turns inward. The real power of kiojutsu wasn't in battle, it was in the mind. It forced the samurai to ask themselves, am I being real, or am I performing a lie to protect my comfort? Kiojutsu was the sword that cut through one's own excuses. Laziness, that was kyo, an illusion, a self-lie, and the samurai didn't tolerate lies, not even from themselves. They trained themselves to see laziness as spiritual rot. If you said, I'll train tomorrow, that was kyo. If you told yourself you're too tired, that was kyo. If you said, I'm not in the mood, you weren't resting, you were deceiving yourself. And for the samurai, self-deception was worse than death. 2. The psychology of self-lying. Let's be brutally honest. You lie to yourself constantly. You do it to stay comfortable. You do it to avoid growth. You do it because the truth makes you feel small. But here's the trick. You don't believe you're lying. You rationalize. You rename your laziness self-care. You rename your fear patience. You rename your procrastination waiting for the right time. This is kyo at its most dangerous, when it masquerades as wisdom. Kyojutsu wasn't just about uncovering lies from the enemy. It was a daily ritual of slashing through your own bullshit. It was red pill before the red pill existed. 3. How samurai eliminated laziness using kyojutsu. Samurai didn't just feel motivated, they trained in truth. Every movement, every action, every breath was a ritual of jutsu, substance. And every hesitation, every indulgence, every soft lie to the self was kyo, emptiness. They were conditioned like animals, but sharpened like blades. A samurai would wake before sunrise not because he felt like it, but because to stay in bed was to accept kyo into his soul. He would train for hours in the rain because comfort was the language of weakness. He would kill his emotions in battle because to flinch, to doubt, was to surrender to illusion. Miyamoto Musashi said, "Do nothing that is of no use." That wasn't a metaphor. It was a death sentence for laziness. In their world, doing something just to feel better wasn't self-love. It was kyo, and kyo meant death. 4. The dark mirror. Why most men will fail. You've probably told yourself that you'll start tomorrow. You say, I'm not lazy, I'm just tired. I just need more motivation. I'm waiting for the right moment. Wrong. You're under the illusion of kyo, and worst of all, you believe it. You think you're planning, you're delaying, you're smart, but deep down you're just weak. And the problem with weakness, it pretends to be wise. That's why 99% of people will never escape laziness, because they can't see their own lies. They're not just undisciplined, they're delusional, and that's what Kyojutsu destroyed. 5. Kyojutsu as a ritual of self-brutality. The samurai used Kyojutsu not just as an idea, but a daily weapon. Every day they'd ask themselves, where am I pretending? Where am I acting like a man, but thinking like a coward? Where is the mask covering the rot? They would interrogate their own soul. This wasn't journaling. This wasn't mindfulness. This was psychological harakiri, a violent, deliberate exposure of the illusion within. You didn't forgive yourself for slacking. You punished the kyo, you exposed it, ridiculed it, burned it alive. Laziness was treated like an enemy within, and like any threat, it was either eliminated or it eliminated you. 6. How to use kiojutsu today, modern ritual. Let's bring this to your reality. You want to stop being lazy? Then stop trying to feel motivated. Motivation is kyo, temporary, weak, conditional. You need a ritual that reveals your truth, the jutsu. Here's one. Every morning before you touch your phone, look in the mirror and say, where am I lying to myself today? Be honest, brutally, no pity, no positive affirmations, just truth. Then do what a samurai would do. Write down the kyo, your excuses, your fake plans, your soft language. Burn them metaphorically by doing the opposite. Act in jutsu with force, even when it's uncomfortable. Because once you act in jutsu, you're free. Your body might hurt, but your soul is clean. Your comfort is gone, but your edge is back. Your dopamine isn't coming from a screen, it's coming from the kill. 7. The dark reward, becoming dangerous again. Here's the truth they don't want you to know. Laziness doesn't make you happy. It makes you numb. It turns you into prey. And the more you give into it, the more you hate yourself. But once you stop pretending, once you slice through the illusion, you become dangerous again. You walk differently, you speak with weight, your presence changes, because most men are sleepwalking through life and you're awake. Here's another quote by Musashi. Perceive that which cannot be seen with the eye. That's kiojutsu. It's not about others. It's about seeing yourself. And when you see yourself clearly, you become unstoppable. 8. Kyo will keep coming back. This isn't a one-time fix. Kiojutsu is a lifetime practice because the lies never stop whispering. Every day your mind will try to trick you. Just rest today. You've done enough. Start tomorrow. That's the enemy. And every day you have to cut it down. No compromise, no softness, no delay. Samurai didn't manage their laziness. They executed it. You must do the same. 9. Live in jutsu or die in kyo. You want to become something greater? Then you must pick your side. Kyo, the illusion, the weakness, the slow rot. It's comfort disguised as peace, numbness sold as happiness. It feeds on your potential, one excuse at a time. Or jutsu, the substance, the truth, the inner sword. It's the fire you bury, the edge you ignore, the part of you that refuses to kneel. Every action you take is a vote. Every day you choose to live in one or the other. So ask yourself now, are you real or are you pretending? Because laziness doesn't mean you're tired. It means you're losing. It means Kyo has its claws in you, and it's already whispering lies you've started to believe. If you keep lying to yourself, you'll lose the war before the battle even begins. And the world doesn't mourn those who die in Kyo. It forgets them. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, let me know by writing Kyojutsu in the comments. And if you want to see more videos, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.